Hello, everybody. This is Rev Sue Frederick, and I'm so excited to talk to you today about the numerology of July 2026. Big month for all of us. So let's close our eyes and pray in for a moment. Take a deep breath with me. And as we step into the heart space of our collective, we remember that all things are on purpose, intentional, and part of a greater divine order plan for highest good, no matter how they may show up in the moment. And the angels remind us that they are with us, lifting us into the flow of grace, of courage, of love, of understanding, no matter what challenges come our way. And so it is. And today we are very grateful that we all know that the angels help us with our journeys on earth because July is a big month. And excuse me, I am admitting people while I teach this class, so I might be looking to the corner to admit people into the room. But what I'm saying is that July is a 7 month in numerology, as you may know, and yet this is a one universal year in 2026. So when we look at 2026 as a one universal year and July as a 7 month, what that means is that July of 2026 is an eight energy. And boy, what an eight energy this is. I've been feeling into every month of 2026 as we go through this rebirth of our collective in 2026. And I can tell you what, July is where it all happens. Now, this is not something to be afraid of. This is not something to worry about. As I reminded you in the beginning, the angels are always helping us, always available to lift us up, to not be afraid, to understand the path forward. However, the 8 of July, now remember when you put the 8 on its side, it's that infinity symbol. And that really means it's calling us to merge our spiritual wisdom with our earthly power. And that's a powerful combination right there. And it literally has the ability to turn everything upside down in July. Everything that we know to be true turned upside down to reestablish a different power base for all of us. The energy is explosive but precise, meaning it doesn't mess around. It doesn't just make a big impact with nowhere to go. You can kind of think of COVID as a reinvention in 2020 that was more scattered around the world, happening at different times, affecting different countries and people in different ways. This impact in July is precise. It affects the entire world at the same moment. It affects you and your soul's power in a very precise way that the angels will help you navigate. What's our favorite prayer? We all remember it's, angels, are you here? Angels, lift me, love me, help me, heal me. Remember that prayer in July, no matter what you feel, no matter what you experience in July. So in July, the call to action of this 8 month in a 1 year, it's a 7 month, but it equals 8 because it's in a 1 year. It calls us to no longer give our power away to authority, to our wounds, to our fear, to our smaller selves. It is a call to step up on the stage of spiritual wisdom, whatever that looks like in your life and your soul plan. If you are a gentle, quiet, angelic soul, that means you're being called to share your inner truth that maybe you haven't shared with others about your beliefs in angels, divine order, the higher purpose of the human lifetime, because others will need your spiritual guidance. And you all, if you've taken these classes, if you've studied numerology, if you understand the angel work that we've done, You know that you carry a light that is needed. It is really needed in July. So July flows with power dynamics, meaning power is here one moment and it's here another moment. All you have to remember is that what's rewarded is aligning with soul wisdom, integrity, and generosity. You are being called to remember your compassionate spirit, to help others who are struggling, because you're all accelerated souls, or you wouldn't even be watching this video, which means your angel calling really kicks in July. And you have to remember that every room you walk into, your light is greater, and you are helping others step into that light. Don't forget that. Don't give in to fear. Don't give in to any kind of collective fear-based conspiracy talk going on. Follow your inner truth, what your heart is telling you. Turn off the TV, go within, talk to the angels. So remember, you're going to be called to vibrate at your highest frequency in July, to lead others with your spiritual integrity, to be generous rather than selfish, open your door to help those who are struggling, and to act with spiritual confidence, soul confidence, not just remembering that you're a strong human being. No, remembering that you're an eternal divine being filled with the golden light of God's unconditional love. So you will act like you remember that. There is an exit in July of manipulation and control from those in power. That will be shaken up through conflict, through disagreement, through chaos. That's why your personal soul power is all you should be focused on. What is mine to do in these moments of fear or chaos? And that question is always, shine your light with love and compassion, rise above the fear, help others understand that all is well with our souls, no matter what. I have all these notes I took this morning in my meditation download. So, political shakeups and control crumbling of power. And what that simply means is that there may be a shakeup in political power figures. Don't even focus on it. Don't even worry about it. Just really go into your heart and focus on your soul's connection to your angels, your higher soul, and your connection to the God source of unconditional love that always reminds us this is part of a greater divine plan that we all agreed to, and you all agreed to be here now to be part of this shift. So your true soul power is called to emerge in July and to examine the power dynamics in the world and decide where you want to stand in that continuum. Are you going to use your power well to help others, to be generous, to be a comfort, to be a light, to be an angel? Or are you going to surrender to fear, blame, anger, and chaos? That is the temptation of July. And wow, when we see that infinity symbol of the 8 in July, we know that everything that happens is serving our collective evolution. So now you're going to say, well, Sue, what are you talking about? Are you talking about aliens revealing themselves? What are we talking about here? So what I'm really talking about is everything. There will be geographical things that happen, whether it's an earthquake, that sort of shake up because there's so much power rumbling around, but it's all okay. And the beings from other galaxies who are more evolved than we are will be making their presence known, but not to everyone, to the people who are ready to receive it and act with higher consciousness. And that's going to be you, because you all understand your divine purpose here, your higher power, and that God is not just a man in the sky who punishes and, rewards, because you've lifted into the higher understanding of God, as a flow of unconditional love that we are all part of, and that we each came here with our own plan and agreed to be here at this time in order to be a helper, healer, guide. I am not saying any of this to be afraid, make you fear-based, but to prepare your nervous system for whatever is happening in July. You won't be shocked. You'll go, ah, I remember now. My call to action is simply to align with my own higher soul and wisdom. Now, there will be different parts of the world affected in different ways. And when I say, turn off the TV, that's because I really want you all to just focus on what you're feeling. Do you remember how in numerology I've been teaching that every number has a different meaning for each person, depending on how you receive it, how it vibrates with your unique soul frequency, and what it means in your heart. So, what does 8 mean to you? Does it excite you? Does it scare you? If it scares you, just know that that means there's some part of you that may be afraid to recognize how powerful you are as an essential, eternal, divine being. So, this is your call in July to remember your own sacred power, which puts you above any fear, above any chaos. Now, in your personal life in July, there will also be rumbles and crumbles. Things will happen to make you examine your belief systems, to make you examine your confidence, to make you examine, rejections come to make us realize, I'm moving to the new and the next. It's not mine to worry about who cares about me or why they care about me. What's mine to worry about is, am I providing unconditional love and enlightened wisdom for all in my circle and beyond? Those are your intentions for July. And I'm going to unmute everybody so we can do question and answer. And then we're going to go into a beautiful divine guided meditation today about owning our power in July in the energy of the 8. So let me unmute everyone here. Now you should be able to unmute yourself now. So there we go. Susie, yes. What is your question?
Well, I don't know if it's a question, but I just have to say that I've been going through this thing where I've been feeling that I want to be in peace, and I want to be like in my room, quiet, candles, and I'm just loving it. But I'm just so much like it's just heaven in here. But I also have this feeling of if you don't do something, like I'm not doing anything.
Don't worry,
And
you'll know when it's time to step back out into the world. And July will also tell you very clearly where you're needed and what you're being called to do. July is not a month that we're going to rest through or sleep through, no matter how we want it to play out. I also wanted to share that the big time period for all of this is the middle of the month of July. So you can think of July 15th, July 14th, July 13th, all in those numbers is where even the astrologers say amazingly rare configuration of planets in that time period that has never happened before on Earth. When you listen to what the astrologers say and then you look at what the numbers say, it's just the way it was before 2020. All the astrologers, the numerologists were going, 2020 is going to reset the world. Well, now they're saying 2026 changes the power of the world, the power structure. That doesn't have to mean suffering, but it does have to mean opening ourselves to accept whatever happens. Thank you, Susie. Hope that answered it. Next question.